I'll be sharing my screen now. Any issues in morning class?
No, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Okay, we'll start our session now. You try to join on time. Problem is big problem. We won't be able to complete. I'll be hosting one more meeting then. Okay. Okay, fine. So let us understand the table and then we'll be solving one problem. Okay. Now you all know, all of you have to respond. Okay. So you have to unmute yourself and answer. Speak after me. Okay. So when the transfer function is in the form of constant k, when the transfer function is in the form of constant k, that time your magnitude plot is a constant line. It is a constant line. For k greater than 1, the line is above 0 dB line, and for k less than 1, the line is below 0 dB line. Fine. And how is your phase plot? Your phase plot is, again, a phase plot is a line. It is at 0 dB. This is your phase plot. Okay. Now, when you have integral factors like 1 upon s, poles at origin, when you have poles at origin, then all of you please answer after me. Repeat after me or answer after my question. When you have poles at origin, what is the magnitude? What is the slope of the magnitude plot? Yes? Unmute yourself and answer. Anand, you are there?
Yes, ma'am. It's 20 decibel per decade.
What?
Slope is 20 decibel.
Is it plus 20 or minus 20?
Minus 20 decibel.
Minus
per
20.
decade.
Very good. Minus 20 dB per decade. Okay. And what is the phase plot? It is minus 90 degree. As the number of poles increases, your slope will be multiplied by the number of poles. That means 20 into n. And also your phase plot will be multiplied by the number of poles. Okay. Accordingly, you will get your magnitude and phase plot. Now, if you have a derivative factor, that means 0 at origin, your magnitude plot is, the slope of your magnitude plot is plus 20 dB per decade, and your phase plot is plus 90 degree. You have to remember this. For poles, it is minus 20 dB per decade and minus 90. For zeros, it is plus 20 dB per decade and plus 90. Right. Now, when you have poles of first order in the denominator, like 1 upon 1 plus st. Then your magnitude, in the morning we had studied that your magnitude is divided into two parts. Okay, in low frequency region it is 0 dB, and in high frequency region it goes to minus 20 dB per decade, right? And the crossover frequency where the slope changes is known as your corner frequency. Your corner frequency is the frequency at which the slope changes from 0 dB to minus 20 dB. Okay, from 0 dB to minus 20 dB. Okay. Similarly, what is the phase angle? Of course, phase angle is also the same way. Okay. Now for simple zeros, again, for simple zeros, that means for numerator, when you have term in the numerator like 1 plus st, again, the magnitude plot is divided in two parts. One is low frequency region, other is high frequency region. And in the low frequency region, it is 0 dB, and this frequency is omega c, after which it is plus 20 dB per decade. Remember, in the numerator, it is 0 and then plus 20. Whereas in the denominator, when you have poles, like the transfer function like this, it is 0 dB and then minus 20 dB per decade. Okay? Okay, so once you have understood this, the fourth factor is quadratic form. Okay, the fourth factor, quadratic terms in numerator, this we will see later. Let us solve problem based on first three factors. This we will see later. Okay. Now, what is the procedure? I have written down the steps to draw the Bode plot in my notes. Okay. Let us solve one problem to understand the steps. Procedure to draw the Bode plot on semi-log graph paper. Okay. First two steps, you listen to me. What you are going to do, step one, check whether the given transfer function is in the standard form or not. What are you doing? Yeah. So step one is check whether the given transfer function is in the form of standard form or not. If not, you have to convert it in the standard form. I hope all of you remember the standard form. Then second step is list the corner frequencies. You remember the corner frequency at which the slope changes. List the corner frequencies in the increasing order and prepare the tabular column as shown below. So we will write down the terms, all those terms in the numerator or denominator, 1 plus st, all those terms. We will write down the corner frequencies. We will write down the slope for corner frequencies, and also we will write down the change in slope, resultant slope. We will see how it is done. Then step 3 is choose an arbitrary frequency omega 1 which is lesser than the lowest corner frequency. Okay, choose an arbitrary frequency omega 1 which is lesser than the lower cutoff frequency, lower corner frequency. Calculate the magnitude in terms of decibel of the factors. Why people are joining so late? Then calculate the magnitude in terms of decibels of the factors which are in the form of k or k upon j omega whole power n at omega 1 and at the lower cutoff frequency. Then calculate the magnitude in dB. At every corner frequency by using the formula magnitude at omega y is equal to slope from omega x to omega y into log omega y by omega x plus magnitude at omega x. Okay, just listen to me. Okay, you will not be able to remember it now, but once you are done, once we solve one problem, you will understand. Let us solve problem first. Write down this question, everyone. Kuldeep has sent one message. Is he able to join? Kuldeep? So that means you have network issue. Who is there? Anand, are you there?
Yes, ma'am, I'm there.
This Kuldeep and one more student are not able to join. They are asking for meeting ID and password. Can you share with them
Okay, ma'am.
for the Zoom
Okay, ma'am,
session?
I'll share it with them.
Yeah, I have asked them to see in Google Classroom. Google Classroom you share.
Okay,
You can
ma'am.
directly click on link and link what I have shared and join. No, there is no need of meeting ID and password, right?
Ma'am, they can join, ma'am, but this new security update will require you to allow them to join.
Yeah, so I am allowing. I mean, as and when they are joining, I'm getting a notification and I'm allowing them.
Even then, if they are not entering, then it's their network issue, ma'am.
Yeah, that's what I have told. It's network problem, and the error what they are getting is network issue. They have sent me that
Yes, ma'am.
can't connect to our service. Please check your network connection. So that means
Yes,
the
ma'am. It's on their end, ma'am.
fine. Okay, no issues. So have you taken down the question?
Yes, ma'am.
Anusha K is waiting. Okay, fine. I have allowed her. Yeah. Fine. So you see that a unity feedback control system has GS is equals to S square upon 1 plus 0.2S into 1 plus 0.02S. You have to draw the Bode plot. The sinusoidal transfer function is given in the standard form. No need to convert it. Okay. Step 1. The sinusoidal transfer function is replace S by J omega. So G of S will be replaced by G of J omega. It is obtained by replacing S by J omega in the S domain. So the transfer function I have just replaced S by J omega. All of you have taken down? This is your step 1 where you have replaced the given transfer function in J omega. Now step 2, you have to draw the magnitude plot for the given transfer function. Okay, the Bode plot is divided into two plots, magnitude plot and phase plot. So first we are drawing magnitude plot. Now listen to me carefully. When you are drawing magnitude plot, it consists of few sub steps. Okay, so first is determination of corner frequencies. You have to determine, you remember I told you, only for first order systems you have corner frequencies. Do you have first order transfer function, first order systems here? First order pole and zeros? Yes. 1 plus 0.2s and 1 plus 0.02s. Right? Okay, so it is in the form of determination of corner frequency, right? So determination, how will you determine corner frequency? There are two terms. So how many corner frequencies will you have? You have two corner frequency, one for each of these two first order poles. Okay, so you will name your corner frequencies as omega C1 and omega C2. Remember I told you this is 1 plus ST and your corner frequency is determined at omega is equals to 1 upon T. So for omega C1, what will be your corner frequency? 1 upon 0.2. For second expression, let us represent the second corner frequency by omega C2. It will be 1 upon 1 upon 0.02. This is your T. So 1 upon T. So you have got 1 upon 0.2 is 5 radians per second, and 1 upon 0.02 is 50 radians per second. So the very first step is, if you have first order poles or zeros in your transfer function, then you will find corner frequencies. Clear? The number of corner frequencies will be equal to the number of first order poles or zeros in the transfer function. Since there are two poles, first order poles, you have got two corner frequencies. Now, the formula is 1 upon t, very much clear. And you know that you have to bring your transfer function in the form of 1 plus st if it is not given in the standard form. And once you are done with finding corner frequencies, now you have to choose two frequencies. How will you choose two frequencies? You have to choose two frequencies where one frequency is less than omega c1. Let that frequency be omega L, and other frequency should be greater than omega c2. Let that frequency be omega h. Now listen to me carefully. When you have two or more than two corner frequencies, you will find out the smallest corner frequency, and you will choose one frequency which is lower than the smallest corner frequency, and you will choose another frequency which is higher than the highest corner frequency. In this case, we have only two corner frequencies, so I've chosen one less than 5, which is represented by omega L. I have chosen one greater than 50, which is represented by omega H. Why are we choosing these two frequencies? So as to draw our plot. We will be drawing our plot. We need few points so that on those points we can find the output response, and then we can join those points to get our magnitude plot. So as of now, we have only two values of frequencies, 5 and 50. So we have taken two more values. One is less than the smallest, other is higher than the largest. I hope it is clear till now. Please respond.
Clear, ma'am.
Okay, good. Now it is up to you what values to be chosen here. Any value less than 5 is okay. Okay, but I have chosen 0.5 here. Okay, when I multiply 0.5 by 10, I will get 5. So it is a good practice to choose a frequency which is divided by the smallest one, divide by 10. Okay, it is a good practice, but it is not a rule. You can choose any frequency. Okay, so I have chosen a frequency 0.5, and for higher, again, you can choose 500 also, but you have to make sure that the frequency range can be plotted in your graph. Okay, so I have chosen 100 radians per second here. Okay, any frequency greater than 50 can be chosen here. Any frequency less than 5 can be chosen here. Okay, so here I have chosen 0.5 and I have chosen 100. Now note that the slope of magnitude plot changes at every corner frequency. Just to recall that slope of your magnitude plot changes at every corner frequency. So its slope will change at 5. Its slope will also change again at 50. Okay, magnitude plot, we will see later. Okay, now, so what we have done till now, we have found corner frequencies. We have selected two frequencies less than omega c1, one is greater than omega c2. Now second step is slope determination. This is important step. Slope determination. I had told you in the procedure, step 2, you will form a table. Now how will you find slope? You will form a table where you will write the terms given in the transfer function one by one. So you see your transfer function. In your transfer function, you have j omega square. You have written that term first. You have 1 upon 1 plus 0.2 j omega, that you have written second. 1 upon 1 plus 0.02 j omega, that is your third term. So you have written each term in your table. Okay, so that is the first column of your table. Now, after writing three terms, you have to write the corner frequencies for, remember, corner frequency is only for first order poles or zeros. So will you be getting any corner frequency for j omega square? Yes or no?
No, ma'am.
No. So I have written dash here. So corner frequency, which is in radians per second, is 1 upon t. This is 1 upon st. This is 1 upon 1 plus st. So the corner frequency is 1 upon 0.2. You got 5 radians per second. For this term, you have got corner frequency as 1 upon 0.02, which is 50 radians per second. The same thing what we have done. I have written in tabular form. Now this is important. Third column, you are going to write slope. Now you know the first term gives you 0. 1 0 at origin. What is the slope for 1 0 at origin? Please respond everyone. The slope for 1 0 at origin is 1 0 at origin.
Zero slope.
1 0 at origin. What we had studied yesterday, the second factor, the 1 0 at origin. What happened, all of you? See, just now I had revised you. I had told you this table. Whenever you have one pole at origin, the slope is minus 20 dB per decade. And when you have 1 0 at origin, the slope is plus 20 dB
Plus
per
20.
decade. You remember, zeros are at the numerator. Its slope is plus 20 dB. Poles are at the denominator. Its slope is minus 20 dB. Or whichever way you want, you can remember. It should strike immediately. You should not take much time to recall. Once again, zeros are at the numerator, so the slope is plus 20 dB per decade. Poles are at the denominator, slope is minus 20 dB per decade. Now, immediately you should tell me next time. Okay? So you know that. Yeah, so you know there are two zeros. This is a zero term which is in the numerator. So there are two zeros. So what will be the slope of this term? Plus 20 into 2. How much it will be? Plus 40 dB per decade. Clear? Okay. Now, I have written at the top just in case you don't remember. S term in the numerator slope is plus 20 dB per decade. S square term the slope will be plus 40 dB per decade. Now you know this is a pole, first order pole. For a first order pole, what is the slope? It is 0 dB and minus 20 dB. What is the rate of change of slope? It is from 0 dB, it changes to minus 20 dB. Okay. So when a single first order term is present in the like 1 upon s, the slope is minus 20 dB per decade. When you have 1 upon s square, it becomes minus 40 dB per decade. Since you have 1 upon s term, here you don't have 1 upon s term. Here you have first order pole. Right, for the first order pole, the rate of change of slope is minus 20 dB. You remember this, right? Just in case if you're not able to recall, I'll just show you because this is first question. All of you should be much confident. See, so this is the way, this 1 plus st term. So what is the slope? 1 plus st, 1 upon 1 plus st. This type of term, the slope is from 0, it is going down. So the slope is decreasing. So it is minus 20 dB per decade. Right? Okay. So minus 20 dB per decade. So you see, you have to recall and write here. Okay, you have to remember the table and recall and write here. So for this term, 1 upon st, 1 upon 1 plus st term, the slope is minus 20 dB per decade. Again, this is also of the same type, 1 upon 1 plus st term. So for this term also, the slope will be minus 20 dB per decade. Any doubts still here? The last column is simple, but this column you should understand first. Third column, any doubts in third column? You can ask. Say yes or no.
No, ma'am.
Fine. Now the last column gives you change in slope. You have to write change in slope. What is the meaning of change in slope? You have to subtract. So 40 minus 20, how much it is? 20. And then this 20 minus 20, you will get 100. You have to add. You understand in this way. Okay. So when you add 40 and minus 20, you get 20. And with the resultant sum, when you further add minus 20, you get 0. Clear? Why are you doing this?
Yes, ma'am.
Because
Yes,
you
ma'am.
know Why are we doing this? Because we know that at every corner frequency, the slope changes. So your slope is plus 40 dB per decade, but when when it meets first corner frequency, right? When it meets first corner frequency, its slope will change. So we should know what is the slope now. It is 20 dB per decade. When it meets second corner frequency, the slope will change again and it will be 0 dB. So this table is clear, everyone? You have to write each term. For first order poles of zeros, you have to find omega corner frequencies. You have for each term, you have to write slope in dB. And lastly, you have to just add the two terms, the two slopes, and you have to write the change in slope. Okay, now calculate magnitude. Calculate magnitude. Okay. Now, how to calculate magnitude? Yeah. So you will calculate, let the magnitude be A. Let the magnitude be A. So what is A? A is magnitude of Gj omega in dB. So magnitude at omega is equals to omega L. You have to calculate magnitude at omega is equals to omega L. What is omega L? You have chosen any frequency which is lower than omega C1, 0.5, okay, radians per second. So how will you calculate magnitude of omega at omega L? You will write 20 log 10. And what is your J omega? It is, how will you find magnitude? Magnitude of J omega whole square, which is 20 log omega square, which is 20 log 0.5 square minus 12 dB you will get. Okay. Okay. Just substitute the value of omega here as 0.5, omega L. You have to find the magnitude of omega at omega L. This is how you calculate. This is the formula, 20 log J omega whole square. Okay, so J square becomes 1. So you get omega square. So you calculate the magnitude at omega L is equals to minus 12 dB you get. When you solve this using calculator, you get minus 12 dB. Now the second step is you will calculate the magnitude of omega at omega C1. These steps are fixed. First you will calculate at omega L, then you will calculate omega at omega C1. How will you calculate? The same formula, 20 log 10 mod of G omega whole square, 20 log omega square, and instead of now omega will be 5 here at omega C1. What is omega C1? 5. So you got 28 dB. So this is minus 12 dB. This is 28 dB. Okay. Now the third step, you have to calculate the magnitude at omega is equals to omega C2. Now how will you calculate magnitude at omega C2? There is a formula. The formula says slope from omega C1 to omega C2 multiplied by log of omega C2 by omega C1 plus magnitude at omega is equals to omega C1. So you have to remember this formula. Okay. After remembering this formula, how will you write? Now you tell me, what is the slope from omega C1 to omega C2?
Plus 20, ma'am. Increasing.
Plus 20, right? From omega C1 to omega C2, the slope is plus 20. Clear? Now, into what is omega C2? It is 50. Log of 50. What is omega C1? It is 5. So you just substitute the values. Log of 50 by 5 plus what is the magnitude at omega is equals to omega? Just now you have calculated magnitude at omega is equals to omega C1. It is 28 dB. So you have written plus 28. Just solve this term to get the magnitude at omega is equals to omega C2. You got 48 dB. Just substitute in the formula. Is that clear? So why are we calculating this? We are calculating magnitude at omega C1 so that we can make use of this formula. We can also calculate magnitude at omega C2. For calculating magnitude at omega C2, we need to have magnitude at omega C1. And we also need to have magnitude at omega L. Clear? Now, at last, I told you, we have 4 frequencies. Why are we taking these 4 frequencies? So that we can find 4 points by finding the magnitude at these 4 frequencies. And at the end, we are going to join those 4 points to get our magnitude plot. Because you know that what is your magnitude plot when you vary omega from 0 to infinity, but it is not possible to vary from 0 to infinity. So you can select few points. So how have you selected those points? First, you will find out corner frequencies. So you have two corner frequencies, omega C1, omega C2. One point you have chosen less than omega C1, other point you have chosen higher than omega C2. You have got 4 points. So there will be 4 points in your magnitude plot. You know the change in slope in all 4 points. You have to join 4 points to get your magnitude plot. So at last, you will find magnitude at omega is equals to omega h. Again, using the formula, slope from omega C2 to omega h into log of omega h upon omega C2 plus magnitude at omega is equals to omega C2. Remember, A is nothing but a magnitude. We have written magnitude by A here. Okay. So what is the slope from omega C2 to omega h? From omega C2 to omega h, it is 0.
0.
0 from the table you can see, right? See, here the slope was plus 20. So you wrote plus 20 in step 3. But from omega C2 further onwards, the slope is 0. So you wrote 0. After omega C2, the slope remains 0. Okay. So you wrote 0 here. Now into log of what is omega h? 100 we have assumed. Upon omega C2 is 50, right? Plus magnitude of omega at omega C2 is 48. Just now we have calculated in previous step. 48 dB. Same thing we have to copy here. We have to solve this in order to get, we got 48 dB again. Now, let the points be A, B, C, D and the corresponding to frequencies at omega L, omega C1, omega C2 and omega H. So we have got 4 points, minus 12 dB. After that, we got first point as minus 12 dB. Second point as plus 28 dB, third point is plus 48 dB, and fourth point is plus 48 dB. We have got 4 points. Now what we have to do? We have to join the points by straight lines, draw the plot, mark the slope, magnitude plot is obtained. Now let us see how we have done. Okay. So as I have told you, magnitude and phase plot will be drawn in a single graph paper. So let us focus on magnitude plot here. So what you have to do, you know that you will mark your 0 dB line. Then this is 10 dB, 20 dB, 30 dB, 40 dB, 50 dB. Okay, this is minus 10, minus 20. You will mark all the 4 points, minus 12 dB. Second is plus 28 dB. Third and fourth are 48 dB. Okay. You have marked these points, dotted lines. Now, these 4 points are at what frequencies? You know, these 4 points are at omega L, omega C1, omega C2, and omega H. So what is omega L? Omega L is 0.5. So the first point is at 0.5. So I have, you know your log scale. It starts from 0.1, 1, then 10, then 100, then so on. You know the midpoint covers almost 70% of the area. So the midpoint between 0.1 and 1 is 0.5, which will be very close to 0.5 in semi-log graph paper. This is semi-log graph paper. So the x-axis is in logarithmic scale. Okay. So at 0.5 omega L, at 0.5 you will draw a dotted line. And where it meets with minus 12 dB is your first point, A. Is that clear, everyone? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
We have less than 1 minute. I'll stop sharing and I'll quickly share one link with you. We'll complete in 10 minutes. Okay. Quickly join me.